Heyo, we're here, November 17th, Thanksgiving episode. Not really. I guess that would be the one on the actual day of Thanksgiving, huh, Brett?
The appetizer to the
Yeah,
Thanksgiving episode.
yeah, yeah. These are like the cold cuts and the prosciutto and
Prosciutto,
the clams oreganato. I don't know if everyone does that, but it's always an
mozzarella
appetizer.
balls.
Oh yeah, stuffed mushrooms. Whew.
Ooh, love a good stuffed
This is a
mushroom.
tasty episode. Um, we get to start off with a conversation we've had 87 times already.
It's the old familiar appetizer that still hits, and it's still, well, this one's not really tasty, but
No. Ticketmaster and Taylor Swift this week. Every week it's just Ticketmaster and a new artist. Um
we got out of General Adphishion and right
yeah.
into,
General Ed Swift and no.
I'll, I'll take it.
Yeah, I didn't try and get tickets. Like I'm not planning
No.
to go. Like I gave up on Blink tickets. I wasn't about to try and get Taylor Swift tickets, but
And apparently it's much harder to go to her show, which we kind of touched on in the last couple
yeah,
episodes.
I don't know what the dynamic pricing is like for Ticketmaster, but we both saw um StubHub resale tickets. And well, I just want to preface this with just because someone lists tickets at this cost doesn't mean like it's a difference between listing and someone actually buying them, but it's still outrageous, so we're going to talk about it. Tickets for MetLife, um general admission
This
on
one
the
was actually Soldier Field in Chicago,
I
the one I
was
sent you.
I looked up MetLife for
Was that
us.
one just as bad?
Yeah, I looked up section 1, so it's the closest one to the stage, and the tickets were 22,000, 24,000, and 25,000. And then
Chicago's worse then.
I looked at the worst seats in the house, the highest furthest back you could find, and those were 580.
That's
Yeah.
absurd. And then you have Chicago over here with a field ticket, 22,000. But there's two more field tickets here. So the row 29, 22,000.
29.
Field ticket, row 9, 41,000. Field ticket, row 5, $51,000.
My God. That is
That's new car worthy.
it's like snow on the beach. It's weird but fucking beautiful. It's not beautiful.
I don't know if it's
It's
beautiful. It's
horrendous.
like it's the end of stadium shows as we know it.
Yeah.
Not to sound
Yeah.
dramatic, but it might be.
But kind of. I mean, it depends if people are going to buy them. I hope no one out there is. I would think if you had like 50 grand to drop on Taylor Swift tickets, that you would have had a more, like, you would have got your tickets a different way. Like, you probably just have some sort of in or something. I don't know. I have no idea, but I just
Instead
feel
of
like,
buying like a Chevy Silverado,
yeah,
you'd
if
buy one Taylor Swift ticket.
yeah, if you're spending $50,000 on a concert ticket, you're probably not going to StubHub and like, I don't know. I don't think people are gonna pay these prices. I could realistically see like over 1,000, maybe less than
Yeah,
two for floor seats, but
more than Jake.
more than Jake or less than Jake.
These tickets cost more than Jake.
Oh wow, it's expensive. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, anyone who got tickets, congrats. You should resell them and pay off your
Your college
house.
loans.
Yeah, seriously. Honestly, I feel like I missed out an opportunity of like a lotto ticket. I should have just logged in on sale, miraculously get a ticket, and then just like boom, Monmouth is paid. Thanks, Taylor Swift.
I saw on Twitter, I think it's Clem on Barstool. I can't tell if he was joking or not, but he said he accidentally bought like 8 tickets to Taylor Swift instead of 4. So he could probably
Oh,
pay off his house if he
yeah,
wants to.
he should be all right then. I wish I looked. I didn't even know it was going on, but
I just saw people angry at Ticketmaster again, but that's like daily now.
yeah, it feels like a new crop of people. Like this isn't anything new to us really, but every time a show pops up, it feels like there's a new crop of people learning like this madness. So yeah, I
And
don't know. I'm still
not that
just waiting for fish tickets to come down.
they
Checking
might go up
daily.
to like 10,000 now.
It's nuts. I don't know. Whatever. We'll just stay to the club shows like we've said 100 times before.
Shout out Axis. Please don't become this.
Yeah, seriously. Um, did we talk about how Bamboozle is selling their tickets as NFTs on the air?
We did, but didn't like NFTs like die last week or something?
Oh, is that what that whole thing was? The
Maybe like Tom Brady's company
yeah,
or
yeah,
something. This is what happens when
yeah.
you only read the headline. We have this much information.
This isn't a crypto podcast. Yeah, I don't know. I
Thought
just
that was
saw
the gist.
Bamboozle was selling their tickets as NFT pictures of the Bamboozle clown.
And that new logo is pretty bad. It looks like the clown after 20 years
He's
and
got
still,
like
but he's gone to Bamboozle every single year in those 20 years
he's
and
got
has
like
lived there.
after like 5 o'clock shadow and like a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Like
He's kind of
crusty.
seen some shit.
Yeah, I like on one hand I like that they're doing something different, but on the other, I feel like I don't know, people might get mad at me for saying this, but the whole like NFT thing feels like just as crazy a scam as Ticketmaster. Like I feel
It
like it's
is,
just
though.
someone because people get so like hyped on that stuff. So I feel like he's just like one of those guys and he's like, well, I can sell these tickets, so why not try and like do it through something that I have stock in, which makes total sense. I don't know. But what I do think is really cool and I like that they're doing is they are selling these tickets at a certain price with a certain amount of information on the lineup. And then when they release more of the lineup, the tickets are going to go up a little and so on and so forth. I think it's kind of a cool idea. It gives people like a better price for those willing to like believe in the festival.
Asking a lot, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then again, if you hate the lineup that comes out, you could probably flip them.
Yeah, that's true. I just like that they're trying to get the fans involved and make it like more fun than just like tickets are on sale. Put in your like Discover pre code and like go get them. They used to, I don't know if Bamboozle did this. I don't remember, but I know like Bonnaroo does like clues and stuff. Like I wish they would release some like riddles. Just give away like some of the undercard, like less important bands, because I want to know. Although I guess that's going to be announced. They said before Black Friday, so by next episode we should hopefully
That'd be
know.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
if
thought it
not,
was the
the one after.
25th. Is that
Uh,
pre?
that would be yeah. That is Black Friday.
Okay.
So yeah,
Did they say
so
before the 25th or they say on the 25th?
I thought they said by Black Friday the lineup will be out.
Ah, okay.
So if it's out, we'll talk about it next episode. If it's not, we'll talk about it
The
the episode
following
after that.
episode.
Yeah. But I'm definitely super curious. And I guess they won't be announcing the whole lineup based on what I just said. So I don't really know what to expect actually, but it's always fun seeing lineups come out. Something to talk about.
It's always fun. And then the ticket buying process ruins the excitement of that announcement.
It's true. You're going to a show this weekend, right?
I am. Speaking of shout out to Axis, an
Yeah,
Axis
I was gonna
venue
ask, how'd
at
you
the
get
Asbury
those?
Lanes.
Are
So,
those resale or did you
so I
buy
was
them straight up?
I was looking in the resale market. Then a friend of the pod, Matt Useos, said he had an extra ticket. So I bought the extra ticket off his friend at a nice, convenient $37, a normal
Beautiful.
concert ticket price.
Yeah.
Although like resale is going for like 56, 60, but I can't even hate on that because I flipped a
Yeah, that's not.
$43 Menzingers ticket for like 67. So
Look, within
people are
reason,
doing it. So
I think within reason, it's all right. But like, it's not like you sold it for
no,
$19,960 more than you paid.
I just wanted my money back and like 20 extra bucks.
Beer money.
That's it. I don't ask for much.
So this is 4 years strong, microwave, and
Yes, I
it's
forgot to mention
Knuckle
that.
Puck.
Yep,
Who's
Knuckle Puck's there too. So I've been kind of revisiting both those bands. Like I know like you had me going back to Microwave after last week's episode, and just like so happened that they're opening at this show. So it's fun to kind of go back down that path again. Like I've been listening to Vomit like nonstop since last week. That's like my favorite
oh, that's
song by
awesome.
Microwave.
I'm so jealous.
I'm hope they're like awesome live too. I've
They have
never
like a
seen them live
nice
before.
array of songs. Because that album that like Vomit is on is a little more like upbeat than Death is a Warm Blanket.
That's for sure.
So I feel like they could put together a pretty nice set list. It's just I think they're like the opener. So it might only be like 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah, hopefully I'm in there in time for that. I know they start at 7 on
Yeah,
Friday. Do my best.
yeah. I
But
saw
Knuckle
Knuckle
Puck
Puck.
is
Yeah.
go ahead.
I saw them a while ago with on like a modern baseball tour. I think it was 2015 or so. They had the song like Gold Rush was pretty big.
That was when they were just starting out, right? Like before they had
Yeah,
the
I
full
think all
lengths.
they really had was like an EP or
Like
something.
no good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up because I honestly don't remember. They had like great energy.
I had to like cheat because like Knuckle Puck's a band I'd never really explored too much before. So I just straight up copied their set list and threw it on a playlist in Spotify. Like I know we'll be I don't know if we're gonna mention it on the pod yet, but we're gonna have another pod series coming out soon. But we could have used one of those episodes to get into Knuckle Puck a little bit. But
Yeah, give us a rundown.
yeah, this could spark a nice little interest in that band after all these years for me.
Yeah, they're just like a good like just standard pop punk band.
Pop punk emo mashup, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel
The
like
gist I've been getting so far.
they make a great like opener. I hope that doesn't come off like rude. But they just have that like energy. But I feel like they're not big enough to hold down their own show. I don't know if they have toured on their own, but anytime I've came across them, they've been an opener and I've enjoyed them.
I think
But
they'll
four
put
years
on a good
strong.
show.
Are
That's
they
gonna be
doing
awesome. Enemy
Enemy
of the
of the
World in
World?
full. Yep.
Damn. Damn.
Plus some B sides to end the set
Yeah. Yeah, because they'll rip through that album in not
in
too
like
long.
45 minutes probably.
Yeah.
It's cool. They like they've been mixing it up, so they pushed like wasted time to the end. So instead of playing it like third,
Oh,
they save it for like the last track of the album,
the
which I think's
newfound
pretty
glory
cool.
approach.
That was
Usually,
well, that was all over the place. That was you didn't know
yeah.
what was coming, which was kind of cool. But at the same time, you had to be on your toes the whole show
Yeah. I think if I'm seeing an album show, I'd want to hear the album in order.
in its
Like it would be
entirety
my preference. Because like when it's an
in
album
order.
you
Yeah,
really listen to, like religiously, you start singing the next song like before it even starts. Like that's just you hear it all as one. So like an album show, I'd like to hear it in order, but I know bands mix it up. Like when I saw Jawbreaker do Dear You a few months ago, they didn't play it in order.
oh, they mixed it up.
Yeah, I just thought it was odd, but
Yeah, I think
whatever.
that one should be in order.
Yeah.
Speaking of them, did you see AFI is doing like one single show for Sing the Sorrow and like Jawbreaker's opening for them,
What?
but it's in California?
Damn. That's awesome.
I'm bummed though. They should have or
Stream
stream
it.
it or come to New Jersey for one.
Yeah, seriously.
That's my favorite
Wow.
AFI album. So
Yeah, me too. That's like that's got like Girls Not Gray and
Leaving Song Part Two,
yeah, oh my God,
Silver
Leaving
and
Song Part
Cold,
2. Even like the intro track, was that like they had like the chanting kind of
right into Leaving Song. Yeah, Part
yeah,
Two. Then you
Bleed
have
Black, Dancing Through Sunday. man.
I forgot about Bleed Black.
Yo,
That's a
I'm
good
gonna
one.
listen to this whole album tomorrow. I'm really excited. What a
What's the
throwback.
last song called again? It's not Leaving Song, or is it Leaving Song?
No, it's there's Leaving Song, then there's But Home Is Nowhere, then This Time Imperfect, which I have to listen to remember. But
This Celluloid Dream's a good one too.
yeah, the closing track is like a 10-minute like piano thing and like then it goes into a song and just all over the place. That's why it's a 55-minute album.
And probably why they're only playing it once.
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool. I'm jealous. That's a show I would go see. Like, no questions asked.
Wonder if they'll stick to that. Like this is literally going to be the only one. Although if there's, could they be a Bamboozle band?
Ooh, they could. I, if I was a betting man, I would bet that they were there. Will be there.
That'd be a good place to play it again
Yeah. Especially like,
for 20 years, right?
yeah. And that's the thing, like with those festivals, like even like with when you were young, like they know that era that they're playing to. So they're gonna lean into those songs more than they would probably on like a normal tour. So you have a better chance of like hearing like that and December Underground were incredible back-to-back
Oh
albums.
yeah. Even the earlier stuff is good too. That's another
Yeah.
one that I sort of deep dive, but not the later stuff.
The earlier stuff is very punk. So like it's almost like a different band in my head.
And then it shifts. It like like, and this is before My Chem. Like you would think they heard My Chem, like, oh, we can make an album like that too. This came out a year before.
Wow. Yeah, they were pioneers, I would say. Yeah, that and then this album Crash Love. I listened to a decent amount. I think I
You showed me
wanted
that
to
one.
like it a little more than I did, but I liked it enough that like I would play it.
And the newer ones have been just okay.
Yeah, I don't even remember like I don't know if I even listened to these. Burials.
Like Bodies that came out last year was decent, but
Maybe I'll go back to it
not up
tomorrow.
with their
Tomorrow will
best.
be an AFI day. You know what AFI stands for?
Fire Inside.
Oh ho, nice work. Um, what else is going on?
Now it's a Suits quiz.
That was a great quiz. You want to talk about Ellis Dunes since we're kind of in the album world right now? This
Yeah, let's
almost
do it.
feels like an album that could have came out when Sing the Sorrow came out.
Oh, it's definitely like, well, of course, it's the original singer of Seosin, so of course it
Yeah.
feels of that era.
I'll read off the members just for anyone listening who might not know. So they're like a super group that kind of formed during COVID, and you have Anthony Green on vocals of Circus Survive, Sayasin, then Frank Iero of MCR on guitar, Travis, is it Stever, right?
Coheed.
Stevers? Yeah, Travis Stever. I'm just gonna say Stever, and if that's not how you pronounce it, then he's spelling his own name wrong. Travis Stever on guitar, Tim Payne of Thursday on bass, and then Tucker Rule of Thursday on drums. So you have like a
What
nice,
a lineup.
yeah, it's cool. Did this lineup, did it deliver? Ellis Dunes, Past Lives, 11 tracks, 43 minutes.
Laying it up for me.
Laying it up.
So I think it works. So like at first, I think after my first listen, I kind of landed like, because I think I've talked about this before, like how I've tried really hard to get into Circus Survive and it just never really clicked. But then on the other hand, like anything Seosin touches, like I'm obsessed with. So I was sort of sitting right in the middle. And the more I listen to this, the more I lean towards like, I'm going to listen to this a lot, like Seosin. It just like I feel like I keep learning more and more with each listen. Like the guitar solo on Grifter, for example, it kind of just like slipped through the first listen, but now it's like one of the most standout parts of that song. And
Yeah,
like
it's killer.
2022, Past Lives, It Takes Time. Like I
Hmm.
keep finding new favorites and like different parts of the songs I like, and it's not as intimidating as Circus Survive music is, and it's clearly the product of like three bands I enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, mostly enjoy if you want to count the Seos inside of Anthony Green, but it's delivering for me, and I think I'm still going to continue to listen to this because it's fresh each time, and I can't really list too many albums off the top of my head this year that I felt that way about, where I keep rediscovering or discovering things with each listen.
Yeah. I definitely feel that because my first listen, I wasn't like it just wasn't like hooking me immediately. And it's not even that anything was like bad about it. I just wasn't like I don't know, it felt like something was missing. And then I went back a couple times and like you said, kept kind of hearing more things. And I started getting the feeling that like it was a really good showcase of like all the artists involved. Like there were songs like 2022 that kind of reminded me of like a Circus Survive song. You have Like Forever that kind of sounded like it could have been off Three Cheers, like with just that like guitar like octave chord that he was doing. Um, you mentioned Grifter, that gave me Coheed vibes just because
Yep,
it was more
that's probably
like
why I love
noodly.
it.
Yeah. So like it was all over the place. Bomb Squad gave me Thursday vibes. So like all the bands involved, you can hear like their taste or whatever, their input, which was cool. I thought the vocals kind of got like drowned out in the mix.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Although there were some points where he just let it rip, which I liked.
Yeah.
Like where he actually like screamed. I feel like Circa he didn't
Yeah.
really do that as much. But then again, Circa didn't really stick with me, so he might have. I could be completely wrong about that, but
Of all the bands on this, Circa's one that I never really listened to too much. Is it, and you mentioned it too. I don't, did you say they were intimidating or I forgot what word you used? Not intimidating.
easy, more digestible. Did I say that?
This might be
Less
Circa,
intimidating, less intimidating,
something about,
maybe.
I don't know what it was about Circa Survive, but I listened to their first album today just because I wanted to like just compare. And it's good. Like I should have liked it. I would have liked it had I listened to them. They just kind of like slipped by for me. But I did like him on in Seosin. Um and even Seosin I never listened to like a ton of, but the album with the spider on the front, I think it's self-titled, has You're Not Alone.
But that's not him though.
And he's not that's not him. I
No,
always mix it up.
he's on translating the name, the EP. And then
Oh,
he came back for
7 years, right? That's him?
7 years of Sam. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I mix up that and You're Not Alone because those were like two of the five Seosin songs that like I had on my playlist.
No, but that was a huge one too, but it wasn't him. That was I have to Google the name now.
Uh,
Makes
yeah,
me a bad Seosin fan.
yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. Um,
But he came back, he rejoined the band in 2016. They dropped Along the Shadow, which was a really good album and showed he still had some of that translating the name energy.
that's cool. He also like does solo stuff, I think, like recently, because I was trying to like read up on it. Like he has an album that I think came out this year. Yeah, called Boom Done. So
Cool.
he's pretty active to give it a listen.
I might have to try Circus Survive again.
I think you would I know you would like it. Like
I like the song
it
Get
does.
Out, but that's like the only one that ever really latched on a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
it was mixed.
Cove Reber. Reber?
Uh,
Cove Reber.
yeah, Reaver or Stever. We're just getting
The
owned
Reber.
by EVERs today.
EBR. So I can't tell if it's
Uh,
Reber or Reber.
oh. The album was mixed by William Yip or Will Yip.
Great
Um,
producer. Worked at the
he,
Menzingers a lot.
yeah, that was my next sentence. I figured
And
you would know
Turnstile
that.
too, I think.
Yep. He's done, yeah, ton of circus stuff, Anthony Solo stuff, Wonder Years. He's done like a ton of live albums. I wonder if that's why like The vocals are weird. People say like the vocals are usually washed out on his albums, but I never got that vibe from Messinger stuff. So like
No,
I don't think you can like generalize it like that.
I do hope the Menzingers work with someone else on their next album, just to kind of
Shake it up.
mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
As much as I like his production work.
My favorite thing about this album, before I forget, is the bass parts by Tim Payne. The bass is so good on this album.
Oh, it's really good.
Like you could tell that um him and Tucker Rule on drums like play in a band together because like they are holding it down. Like it's the songs have amazing groove and it gives room for like the guitar player, the guitar players like from Coheed and MCR to like do their things, you know? Like it gives a great foundation for them to showcase their own talents. But like, and like without that solid bass drums, like I don't know that it would work. But it's so good. Like Gray Veins has like a killer bass line.
Oh yeah,
The whole album, like this is definitely an album that worked best for me on headphones, through headphones.
yeah, I agree. That's why the first listen wasn't through headphones. Second one was, and the second one's kind of where I picked up on
Yeah,
what was going on here.
yeah. But yeah, it's cool. They're touring like crazy, like nonstop. Um, they're gonna be in Jersey in a couple weeks, maybe
That
December.
Jersey City or Asbury?
They're playing the Lanes.
Ooh.
I know. Like, how cool would it be just to see these guys perform at in like the smallest venue in Asbury
Yeah,
or
I'm
close
excited
to it?
for the
Um,
Friday. I haven't been there since they redid the lanes. So
yeah, yeah, I'm excited for you.
can check
I'm
the
not.
resale market.
I know because Vinny kind of wanted to go too when I was telling him. Just like I don't know, I'm just tired. As fun as it would be, it. I'm just trying to take a little break from shows. But
Reboot for 2023.
yeah, this is one that typically I would impulse get tickets for and just go. Because like you said, like $40 on a Friday night, like I mean, I could go to like the bar with some friends and it would be
More than that,
yeah,
probably.
yeah. But it's also like Asbury's an hour away, which is annoying. But
Yeah, a little more
yeah,
manageable for me.
yeah. What I usually do for these Friday shows is I'll drive down to Vinny's at lunch because I work remote on Fridays. And then me and him will just kind of like work remote, air quotes, until like 5 o'clock, and then we'll just like book it over.
It's a good strategy, though.
Yeah, it's great. Had a lot of fun with that. That's what we did for Angels and Airwaves.
WFV, work from Vinny's.
uh, you see the Grammys news?
I did, unfortunately.
Honestly, I thought it was a pretty good list.
I'm
Blah.
just mad at the Rock album.
Yeah,
And I think that
yes,
just
short of
poisoned everything
like.
else for me.
So this is what I wanted to ask you. Let me just read off the stuff before we talk about it, so people know what we're talking about. But Grammys announced like all their nominees, and so best rock song you have Black Summer by the Chili Peppers, Blackout by Turnstile, Broken Horses by Brandy Carlisle, Harmonious Dream by the War on Drugs, Patient Number 9 by Ozzy and Jeff Beck. And then for best rock album, you have Dropout Boogie by the Black Keys, The Boy Named If by Elvis Costello and the Imposters, Crawler by Idols, Mainstream Sellout by MGK, Patient Number 9 by Ozzy, Lucifer on the Sofa by Spoon. They're doing, I mean, it's right in line with like two old bands that have been around forever. Um, a newer one who's kind of turned pop that makes everyone mad, and then like just a couple like lesser known rock bands who are still big. I see your
Machine Gun
face.
Kelly should not be on here.
I agree because
That was one of the worst albums that we've listened to this year. Maybe on this podcast. I can't name Oh, worst one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can.
No, I'm with you. Like if you wanted to tell me his first, what was this? Tickets to My
His first
Downfall?
one, Tickets to My Downfall, if
Like
that was on here, I wouldn't argue it.
yeah,
But
this album had like one or two songs maybe. Not trying to be like generous here. But the fact that he's on it and like Jack White isn't is insane.
yeah, Jack White had two, and both were
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Like how is Jack White nowhere to be seen here? I don't get it. But then this leads me to the question that I wanted to ask you is for all it's worth, as much as we shit on MGK and this album was bad, it was still like top of the rock charts for like quite a while. So by that logic, should it be here?
Is that the metric they use?
I don't
Like,
know.
it can't be because like I don't think Spoon's up there. Like Spoon, I know a lot of people love them. I've never really deep dove their stuff before. They are
No,
on my
me
list
either.
for someday. The same
Yeah.
with Elvis Costello,
Hmm.
and I know a lot of Ozzy stuff, but I don't know if he does the numbers he used to. The Black Keys, I don't think are what they were,
Yeah, this Black Keys
but
album I didn't think was like that great.
no, I didn't hear.
Uh,
Like it came out and I heard nothing, which is just like rare, especially
yeah.
with them. But I
Uh,
know like he obviously did numbers, but I don't think anything else on here did. Like Idols Crawlers, the first time I'm hearing of that album, unless I just completely fell through the cracks for me.
yeah, I don't they're not a band I like listen to too much. I can't really tell you anything about them. It also says this album came out in 2021, so like I don't really understand
That's strange.
anything.
I think we did miss Patient Number Nine though. I remember seeing that come out. I was going to tell you about it, then I forgot. So maybe we'll have like a segment in like December of albums we forgot, and
Yeah,
we'll just touch on some of them.
that's a good idea. Um, yeah, that'd be fun. I don't know what to make of this Grammy stuff. I like that like Turnstiles on here is really cool. Like Turnstiles nominated for three. Um, it's like best rock song, um, and two others.
Best rock performance.
Maybe. I honestly
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
Holiday. They got nominated for Holiday.
Um, it like Blackout is a killer song, and it has like
That's with
that
my
great
bongos.
breakdown at the end. Yeah, the bongo
I think it's
interlude. Like,
bongos.
yeah, it's it's a great song. Like, I would love to see that win. Um, Black Summer was everywhere. Like, it was a.
Is
I
that the
thought
one
it
the
was a
Taco
good.
Bell commercial now?
I
What's the
didn't
one
know
in the
that, but
Taco Bell
that's
commercial?
awesome.
There's
I
one song from there that's on it now because people were mad.
get your money. Who cares?
That's what I said.
Their tickets were actually, I don't know. I went as a gift. So I can't tell you that they were affordable. Um, Broken Horses by Brady Carlisle is also a great song. It feels a little more country Americana to me than like rock song. Like if you're winning best rock song, I don't know, but it it was a good song. It had like this Rolling Stones like kind of solo like halfway. Um, it was cool. And Harmonious Dream by the War on Drugs was another one that was like a long like kind of journey of a song.
That's how they are.
Yeah. Yeah, which I like it's good. It's just not that type of music isn't my go-to. Like I almost want to like it more than I do, but it's still cool and I still think they're like a good band. It's just not I'm not usually throwing that on, but I'm
They're
glad they're
good.
on this
They're good
list.
road trip music.
Yeah. Like nice long like
You're in the car for a while. Like you could put that on, and like next thing you know, an hour and a half has passed by.
yeah,
Right, that kind of band. And that's
that's
not a
great.
bad thing. Like it's
No,
just
no.
they're good. Like in that setting.
Yeah. Yeah, you drove from Tennessee to Jersey this weekend.
Yep. And then we split it up on the way down. On Thursday, we drove 4 hours on Wednesday night to Virginia and did the next six Thursday morning.
So
So
what
we
were
had a
you
good little combo of podcasts and music. So I got Sandra into 60 songs that explain the 90s. We did the
nice?
Backstreet Boys episode and the Celine Dion episode, and she was hooked. It was
Oh, it's
awesome.
great. Yeah, me and Nicole throw that on too when we're coming back from the shore.
We just sit there and laugh like when he goes on his rants.
Yeah. I'll just pass her my phone. I'm like, pick an artist. Like I think we did Dave Matthews last time
He
and
doesn't
Nine Inch
disappoint.
Nails. Yeah, he's great. Would love to get him on the show.
We're trying.
Don't have an email and Twitter DMs are unreliable.
But yeah,
Yeah,
then we also had Sirius. So we were bouncing back and forth between like 90s on nine
and Fish.
and and Fish and classic vinyl, classic rewind,
Yeah,
both of
yeah.
those.
Nice.
Because it really is like the best road trip music. Sandra and I were discussing this during the drive, but like classic rock just hits differently when you're on the road. It's like really like the perfect soundtrack.
Yeah, I can see that. Like just those like just got that like wind in your hair
Ventura
feel to the
Highway.
music. Yeah.
And you
But
never know
the
what's gonna come on next. It's like all like I feel like I don't listen to classic rock as much as I used to. And like listening to that made me want to listen to it even more.
yeah, I actually canceled Sirius, so now I've been like FM radio has been my base if I don't put on Spotify.
Key
And they
104.3.
yeah, they just got rid of 92.3, the alt rock station we had.
They get rid of it again.
Yeah. It's so sad because they were doing like I was enjoying it. It was like 2000s. Like they would play like old Fallout Boy, Rise Against, AFI, like all that stuff would be in there. Blank, and then they'd mix in some new stuff. I just don't know why an alternative rock station can't survive in the New York market. Like it's insane to me.
Would they make it?
It's just like simulcasting like sports talk radio.
That's weird.
It's
They already
insane.
have that on 101.9.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
fan. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're not gonna beat the fan or ESPN. Like, why even try to compete with them?
I I really don't get it. But so I've had 104.3 the Q on and it's just the same songs for
They
like
don't mix it
my
up in
whole life. And it's not like any of them are bad, but it's just every time I get in the car, it's like the
time.
Police or Pink Floyd. Yeah, it's always, and I love like Dark Side, but like, come on, like, there's so many. Like, I don't. Are there rules on the radio? Like, I know,
It's a good
like there are
question.
so many Pink Floyd songs. Stop playing time. It's like time and
or
money.
or another brick in the wall part two.
Yeah, I don't know. Play like metal or something and just let like that bass like bounce around for 8 minutes. Like do
You
something
could play
weird.
90s music now because it's starting to get grouped in the classic rock. So
Yeah,
like you can teeter there. You have
you'll
4 decades you could play with.
occasionally you'll occasionally hear like Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Foo Fighters like sneak in, but not really.
But like think
Not
about it,
really.
like you have the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and they choose to play
Like
the
only the
same 20 songs.
70s and like yeah, it's I don't get it, but it has been putting more classic rock in my face, but like I've already done the classic rock thing.
Yeah,
Like it's not like I'm discovering anything is my point. But
that's a good point. That's probably why I don't go back to it as much as I used to listen
yeah,
to it.
I feel like everyone goes through a phase where it's new and they're like, holy shit, like there's a reason this stuff is so good. But then like anything, when it's in your face all the time, you're like, all right, how many times like do I have to hear like Stairway or something? I don't know.
Unless it's been a while, but if you listen to Q1043,
It
it's
won't
every
be.
day.
Yeah.
They still do like Get the Let Out where they play like a
I
different Led Zeppelin song. Although it's not a different Led Zeppelin song, it's
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm not listening that much. Like
okay.
it's when I get in my car at like 8:15 and then when my phone connects at 8:16.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, my woodshop teacher in high
Oh,
school used to play Q1043 all class. So we'd listen to it like for an hour every day. And we would usually hear the same 5 artists.
Q1043 in a woodshop class sounds like the most like expected thing I've ever
Oh
heard in my
yeah.
life. Speaking of classic rock, we have a new Queen song. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
I heard about it, but I did not get to listen yet. So
It's so cool. So like they're reissuing The Miracle from 1989, and like in the process they found this unreleased song called Face It Alone that like has Freddie Mercury's vocals on it. And it was just like a song they kind of worked on and it didn't make the album, it didn't go anywhere. And it came up and they didn't know um if like they'd be able to revive it, but with like the technology and like all the things we have at our fingertips now, all the engineers were able to like piece it together and they released it and it sounds great. Like it's a good Queen song. It's got like a
I'm excited to listen to this.
great piano part, killer guitar solo, and like awesome vocals. It's what you expect from a Queen song. And just I just think it's so cool that like a song could like disappear and reappear in 20, 30 years or so.
And they could finish it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super cool.
Speaking of Queen, did you happen to watch the Weird Al movie yet?
No.
Okay.
There's a there's a I didn't even know there was a Weird Al movie.
So Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, plays Weird Al. So like the
No
Airbnb we were
way.
staying in, I guess like it's on the Roku channel.
Oh.
So we were like watching it a little bit, and we only got halfway through, but like I was cracking up because like Leave It to Weird Al to make a parody of like his like his biopic. So it's a
Wait.
parody of his life. So it's completely outlandish and out there instead of like telling the true story. It's like so over the top ridiculous, but it's great and it works. And like the songs are legit his songs and like showing how he came up, but like he's
Oh
like, oh
my
yeah,
God.
I got like 8 platinum records from my first album. Like who knew? And like you look at it, it's like it was certified like gold like years later, but it wasn't platinum.
That's amazing. I didn't know this existed. Rainn Wilson is in it too.
Yes, he's Dr. Demento. And
Oh, that's
there's
awesome.
so many great cameos. And like one of the cameos was the bass player in Queen. And that's where
Whoa.
like another one rides the bus comes in. That's like the Weird Al parody of that song.
That's awesome. I can't believe this exists. I didn't know about it.
It's was really good. I really want to find where I could get the Roku channel and finish it.
I have a Roku, so I
Oh,
feel like,
you can watch it. It's available for free.
oh, let's go. I didn't know Roku was bringing anything to the table other than just like letting you download Netflix on it.
It's very Pick a Destiny vibes, so I think you'll like it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting from your description, so count me in. That's fantastic. I saw Weird Al once at
I did too. At the recently,
I mean the past like 10 years. Is that a
say I saw him
festival?
2015 with my stepdad
Oh, yeah, I think that might have been
at
the
Count
same year
Basie.
I saw him. No, I was at I think I was
But I
at
would have known if you were there.
Yeah. No, I was at Gov Ball. He played after Tame Impala, which was very jarring for me because it went from like
That is very jarring.
one of like my favorite psychedelic rock experiences of the time to like Weird Al parody songs of Amish Paradise in like a tent.
And he comes out in like full like Amish get up.
Yeah. It it was funny. It felt like my dad or like my uncle was like singing songs. Like he just has that like wholesome family vibe about him. Like he was making like the corniest jokes, but like that's what
You can't help but laugh.
yeah, that's what you expect from Weird Al. I saw King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, excuse me,
They dropped
is
their 12th album of the year.
oh, that actually brings up a good point before I talk about their tour. Cool or not cool to put out this many albums?
Too much.
right? It is too much, but I also kind
Cool,
of like it.
but yeah.
I like that they're doing what they want and like how insane it is to put out this much music. But as a casual fan, it almost turns me away because I'm like, I
You don't
can't
know
keep
where to begin.
I can't keep up with all this. But they announced the 2023 tour and they're doing like weekend shows at venues. So they're kind of doing what Fish does. They're gonna play like 3 days in a row at Red Rocks, 3 days in a row at um some other place, something farms, something caves, and something salt sheds. So they're like rocks, farms, caves, and sheds is like their thing. And they're saying how like they didn't explicitly say they're not going to repeat songs, but I don't think they're going to. I mean, you put out 12 albums in a year and you do a 3 day run. You better not repeat a song.
No,
So I don't think they will, but I think like think about when you got into Fish. Like you didn't approach it like I have to listen to like 15 albums. So I feel like this is almost the same thing. We're just seeing it happen in real time. So it seems more overwhelming. But I think if they came around and we went to a show and you hear songs maybe for the first time or songs you kind of know, you have a great time and then you remember those songs and like that's it. And it might not like I think it's almost cool that another band is kind of taking from the Fish playbook while still like they're not like doing the same music as Fish, but it's the similar like idea. So I think it's cool. I'm coming back. I just talked myself into it.
I
It's cool.
was gonna say like probably seeing them at Red Rock's probably incredible,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
And
like, oh, go ahead.
they're wrapping up at Hollywood Bowl with a like 2 3 hour sets and like an intermission halftime. Like they're
So it is
playing
like Fish.
they're doing like an afternoon show and then like coming back at night in like an hour or two.
That's pretty cool.
Like they're calling it a double header.
Do they put out live albums or like these are all studio?
I don't
Because
I
like that
don't
was the difference with Fish for me. Like I got hooked on Fish from partially from you and the recommendations, and then also the Sirius station where like you don't know what live song you're gonna hear,
yeah.
and next thing you know, you get hooked on a live song, and you go home and you start listening to that song over and over again. And then the next time you're in your car, like very rarely do you hear repeats on that station. Like you never really
Yeah.
get the same live version twice. I've noticed, at least it hasn't happened to me yet, and I've had it for like 6 months now.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's like
So
3 decades of
of
songs to pull
tapes,
from.
yeah. I mean, you hear the same songs, but they're of course each live one isn't the same.
Yeah, which is what makes them such a fun band to follow. Because it's like, wow, they're really like going crazy on this one, or like it's just you pick up different things. We had to drive like 40 minutes the other day, and it was early, so I'm like, I'm just gonna throw on a Fish album and just like let them like hold it down. And it was just like a normal like the song Free. Like it wasn't like a just a regular one from like 2011 even, not even like a year that people like get excited about.
Usually it's the
And
'90s, right?
yeah, like 97 is when people like get real hyped. Um but it was early, I was tired, so I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on whatever Fishman is doing on the drums. And I was just really listening to what he was doing drumming. And like he's like a human metronome, but then he works in like these little fills where you can hear him gradually like I think he carries like the songs like like or like steers them almost. Like he brings them I don't know. Just next time you have him on if you remember, just try and just focus on whatever the hell Fishman is doing and ignore everything else, which is also a fun game because then like I'll be focusing real hard on Fishman, and then all of a sudden, in like the back of my head, I hear this cool piano thing, and it's almost like Paige is like pulling me, like, "No, come here, listen to this instead." Like it's just such a unique thing. I just love them. I love them so much.
I gotta try that with their live music because I was. It's funny you say that because like I was hooked on him on Sci-Fi Soldier. Like I thought he did like his drums really stood
Yeah.
out to that on me. No, his drums really stood out on that to me. There we go. I couldn't speak for a second.
I I thought that's what you said. Clean that up.
Yeah, producer.
No, no, I will not. Yeah.
Hicknogens are producer.
No, Get More Down was cool. Sci-Fi Soldier. It's just like I wanted, like it was a tease. Like you could tell they were like demos.
Yeah, I want the live versions of this
Yeah, yeah.
out
You
there.
just gotta find the Halloween show.
But I want to like on Spotify so I can just put it on in the background.
Yeah, yeah. It's the easy way. Um, did you watch that Blink doc yet?
That's but I'm hoping
Next week.
between now and Thanksgiving.
All right. All right. Yeah.
That I will actually do, unlike the Red Hot Chili Peppers album.
If it's still up. No, we're gonna talk about that next week. Let's wrap up
Next week with Nickelback.
with the book club. Nicole keeps singing San Quentin. It's driving me. Like she'll just walk past me and she'll be like, "Somebody keep me away from San Quentin." Like, stop it. I'm coming around on it because it just cracks me up that like she keeps singing it. Book club, the storyteller.
Yes,
So the book is broken into 5 parts.
it is. I probably should
Perfect.
have had that in the room with me right now, but
No, it's cool. So 5 parts, and you said it's like roughly 70 pages or so per part.
about
So
it's a rough estimate. It might be more, might be less. Who knows?
we'll shoot for the episode after Thanksgiving. So that would be December 1st.
Have
Um
part one done.
yeah, read part 1. That's the plan.
I'm pretty sure it's like different stages of his life, each part too. Like the later you get in the book is like the older years. I'm pretty sure like the first part is childhood.
Okay.
So at least we'll
That's
get to
cool.
hear like what he was listening to
Yeah.
and what
A lot of
inspired him
be
and stuff. I'm sure.
DC punk scene.
Yeah, probably some mom stuff, which will be a little sad.
Yeah. Um and then I figure we'll just do like every other week maybe, like have a part done. So that gives you like 2 weeks to read next part.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now, right? 2 weeks
Yeah.
from this episode.
Yeah. I think that seems like a good pace. And we can always just change it if we want. It's our show.
It is. And we'll
Yeah.
have some special episodes coming soon too.
Yeah, we're gonna try some new stuff, shake it up a little bit. But that'll do it for this week. Thank you everyone for listening. We are on YouTube. If you want to just throw us a sub, it would help us out. We'd appreciate it. Um, I also post
Italian sub.
shenanigans. I'm posting shenanigans to TikTok. Got to get in on that TikTok game. So if you're out there, if that's one of your apps, toss us a follow too, please. Trying to grow this thing.
Throw
And
you
we
a
love you.
tuna sub.
A tuna sub? No,
An
I hate tuna.
Italian sub.
Well, I hate tuna fish, but like a nice like tuna tartare. Nice tuna roll.
Tuna roll, sush.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. We're gonna tuna roll out of here. And we'll see everyone next week. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. Bye.
Put your feet and drive it to variety.